Chewy.
So flowers, I'm good.
Oh, I don't know. Does she like flowers?
No.
Okay.
Well, then why would you ask that question, Tommy?
You don't understand. I'm in a very delicate position. Whatever I give her, she's going to be bringing in experts from all over the country to interpret the meaning behind it.
What does she need? Maybe there's something that she needs.
I think I heard her say something about a bench.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
What
You know
about
what else she likes as of Friday? Neosporin.
Just get her a nice, maybe some hydrogen peroxide, Neosporin.
put it in a little gift box. Make it look like a necklace, and then open it up, and it's just a first aid kit.
Just the fact that you remembered means everything.
Of course I remembered. It reminded me every day for 2 months.
Cash?
What do you think?
You got me cash?
Well, that's right. I figure you could go out and get yourself whatever you want. No good?
Are you my uncle?
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it, she running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his mouth.
Should the NFL schedule release day be a holiday? What do you mean?
I
No?
can't believe
It is almost a holiday.
how the NFL has turned something as boring as here's your opponents
On this day.
into such a big event. It goes to the marketing power of the most powerful league in this country.
Well, and the teams obviously have helped out with that. There was a great story that Mina Kimes did, Mina Kimes from ESPN's NFL Live, et cetera, on the pomp and circumstance and all of the production now that goes into these videos that teams are releasing for their schedule release on Thursday, and how they come up with a theme, and then you're putting together all of the visuals for each matchup because you know who you're playing, right? Everybody knows who they're playing and who they have at home and who they have away. It's just when are they playing? And so like last minute, the morning that they get the schedule from the league offices, then they are moving the pieces around for these videos and whatnot. And just, I thought it was a really interesting glimpse into, like you said, something that has become only in the last few years or so a thing. But it's a big thing. Like we here at ESPN Milwaukee are doing a show for the Packers schedule release. Why are you laughing?
Who's doing that?
Chew, I got a great
sorry.
opportunity from you. What are you doing Thursday night between
I'm
6 and
good.
8 p.m.?
Are there people that love football that much?
Yes.
Really?
You new here?
Are you
You're
one of them?
supposed to-
Are you one of them?
You're
I like football. I don't love football. I really, really like it. I don't want to date it.
You're selling borscht again, I see.
You just want to romance football? You don't want to date it?
I can wait till Friday to see the schedules. I don't have to see it Thursday night.
But
You're the guy who clamors over Maction. Like, oh, nothing to watch tonight. I guess I'll watch USFL.
There's a little bit of a dopamine element to this, right? The NFL has very much figured out how to give a little, give a little, give a little. And this time period between the NFL draft, which was not that long ago, right, guys? We're talking a week.
Yeah.
10 days ago.
It feels a little like a drought. And I'm sure people who are insatiable for football, anything, are feeling a little itchy right now, right? Feeling a little like that gif of help me out.
Dave Chappelle.
Thank you, Dave Chappelle, where he's scratching. Yes, they're feeling a little like that. So that's what this is. This is the fix.
I mean, will you watch it?
I will watch. I will. So to be honest with you,
You'll be in the room.
She's going to be
out of the room,
streaming
in the room,
94.5
out of the room.
ESPN between 6 and 8 p.m. on Thursday night.
see,
That's
and
a lie.
he thinks that that's a joke, but I actually will be listening to the show most likely because I am a loser like that. Not saying anyone else is a loser, but like I am that
How did
person.
you
that
just
has-
drag everyone else down that's going to be listening
well,
to
but
the show?
we're all together in the drag. Like it's all of us hanging out.
We're back
You gonna take call-ins?
Yeah. Feel free to call in,
Did you ever
pal.
hear the story
It's me and Jason.
when I fell asleep on the air?
No, but I would
During the
love
draft?
to.
I was there for that.
Here?
I fell asleep, Jen.
So
Oh, well,
was
that
2020.
tracks. It must have been like, what, 10 p.m.?
it was like 8:30. It was at the old place. It was the day that Aaron Rodgers, that Schefter broke the news that Rodgers wanted out.
Sure.
However, we did not have a draft show on the radio that year because we had a Brewers and a Bucks game. So we ended up doing a stream-only situation. And we were sitting up there in the studio, and Chewy I look over.
I was asleep. Gabe's asking me a question, and I'm like...
You can just see it plain as day on the video. Chewy just passed out, sitting there.
So I guess that tracks with your position of I don't need to watch the NFL schedule release show. You can wait till the next morning. But a lot of people do want to see that night. It gets them excited for the season. And I think there is a lot of, speaking specifically of the Packers, there is a lot of apprehension, excitement, uncertainty surrounding this team. And so I do think that there will be people interested to see who Jordan Love's first game will be against. Who do the Packers have in prime time, for instance? Will the Packers get any prime time games? Last year, the Green Bay Packers had 5 primetime games with Aaron Rodgers under center. They had one more game, the final game of the season, since it mattered for playoff implications against the Lions, that was flexed to primetime. So that's 6 primetime games. This year?
Well, they're going to be early.
So
here's what I'll tell you. Not 6.
Correct. So the most you can have when the schedule is released, as Jen mentioned, is 5. There were 12 teams last year that had 5 primetime games when the schedule was released. Bills, Bengals, Broncos, which, again, at the time, everybody thought was going to be good after Russell Wilson. Buccaneers, Chargers, Chiefs, Cowboys, Eagles, Packers, Patriots, Steelers, Rams, and Niners.
What I could see is the Jets, first Sunday night game, big game against the Bills or something like that at home, and then they follow it up with the Packers against the Bears on Monday night. Don't you think they'll package them together?
Packers, Bears, to me, is definitely going to be a early week 1, week 2
primetime
game.
I agree.
Why did the Steelers get such a
I don't know.
last year?
Quarterback?
I don't know.
When you were rattling off that list, and you rattled it off very fast, by the way. I was trying to process it, and I was like, lost that one. Go ahead and give me the list again of the teams last year that had 5 primetime games.
Bills, makes sense.
Tracks, yeah. Let's go through each one.
Yep. Bengals.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Broncos, again.
Russell
at the
Wilson.
time of the
Russell
schedule
Wilson,
released,
yes.
everybody thought they were going to be really good because they just made the Russell Wilson trade.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay.
Yep. Brady.
Tom
Not
Brady.
anymore, yeah.
Well, yeah, not anymore, but last year.
Yeah.
Chargers, young up-and-coming team, fun
Herbert.
quarterback, Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Chiefs.
Mahomes. Yep.
Cowboys. Yep.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Especially with all of the how high people were on the Cowboys last year heading into the season.
Yeah, they were a playoff team, and they're just the Cowboys. The Eagles.
That's a little surprising.
But they ended up sure, but somebody knew something.
Yeah. Great hunch by whoever decided to put them in prime time 5 times. The Packers. Again, makes sense. 13-3 a year
Aaron
before.
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, yada, yada, yada. Patriots.
Is that the Belichick effect?
Probably. I mean, they made the playoffs the year prior with Mac Jones, so maybe they thought, okay, Patriots, still people love them.
Now
with Bill
they're...
Belichick.
People love to hate them.
Well, you still watch.
Yeah.
Hate watch.
Yeah. So Patriots, borderline, but I think it kind of makes sense. Steelers, yeah, that's the one that I can't wrap my head around.
That's Green Bay Light, though.
Yeah, diehard fan base.
Yeah.
And again, Mike Tomlin always has them competitive.
Would they be offended by
I
that?
love that, though. As you said it, I was like, that's a great little nickname for the Steelers. No, they would not like that.
No.
Well, they are.
Well, they don't want to admit that.
Well, but they are, though, because ESPN is dominated by Packer News.
Correct.
Well, that's
Right.
Rodgers, right? Rogers related.
NFL
Love,
Live
they've
was
been
all dedicated to
transitioning to
Jordan
Love.
Love yesterday.
That's great. Good for that guy. So
And then Rams, which, again,
Yeah,
coming off the Super
thought
Bowl.
they were going to be good. We're not good.
And then
I
the
bet-
49ers.
I bet they don't get as many games this year just
No.
based on what they have done. So if you were to set the over-under for how many primetime games the Packers will have this year, and actually before we get to that number, there were new parameters that were released yesterday. I don't have those in front of me, but I believe Adam Schefter tweeted them out. Gabe, do you have the Adam Schefter parameters that he tweeted out yesterday? I believe they're in our rundown. I'm going to go there really quick.
So Adam Schefter tweeted out yesterday a number of new rules. The biggest one I would say is not everybody needs to have a primetime game. So that's a big one. So you're not guaranteed to have a primetime game, which is more a throwback to when you guys played. Because I remember the first time you guys played on Monday night, it was a huge deal.
But wait, hold on.
Forever you guys played on Monday Night Football.
Do the Amazon games on Thursday night count as primetime games?
Damn right they do.
That is not. That doesn't have the same cachet as the NBC, the ABC, the CBS. Thank you. I was missing CBS.
But they're doing Fridays now too.
Well, they're doing a Black Friday.
A Friday?
Just the single back. So the changes to the schedule, Black Friday game for the first time ever. Games don't belong to networks. All games are free agent. So that means the networks just kind of draft all the games instead of Fox has the NBC or the
AFC,
NFC games. CBS has the AFC games. And then, you just kind of filter out the primetime games as you see necessary. Teams can be on Thursday Night Football twice. And
can be. I love that they say can be, like it's a benefit.
Yeah, and not all teams are guaranteed to have a primetime spot.
Okay, so when we know that now, these parameters that Adam Schefter released yesterday surrounding the schedule release, which is on Thursday, how many primetime games do you see the Packers having this season? Let's set the over-under for this show, for Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We could do this. We could handicap these type of betting lines at 2.5. 2.5 games. And remember, they had 5 last year with Aaron Rodgers under center. They had the game against the Lions flex, so they ended up with 6. If they got something flexed late in the season because they were on the verge of playoff, a win gets them in type of thing, that they could likely get flexed.
Yeah, there's a good chance for it.
2.5.
I'm not betting on that. Yeah, 2.5 sounds about right to me.
I say 3. I will.
So
take
you
3.
will take the over.
3. I would take the over, and I think the over will take. Well, what the hell am I saying?
I don't know.
After week 8, they'll have nothing.
So everything's
they're
going to be
have
early.
them. Yes, before because they're anticipating handful of wins.
Here's the problem: the Packers' schedule.
El Stinko.
It's not very good. It's not featuring a lot of really good teams that you go, oh yeah, I would definitely see that in prime time.
Why? Who are they playing?
Well,
AFC what?
So let me just rattle that off for you really quick, and you tell me if you would want this game in prime time, okay? Let's start with, just for funsies, the away games. They've obviously got the Bears, Lions, Vikings. So any of those ones?
There'll be one. Like early in the year. Bears, Vikings.
Lions?
No.
I mean, they'll have
Lions are the favorite in the division.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of juice there. There's more juice with Minnesota or Chicago.
Falcons.
Falcons
Pass.
would be better, but no.
Panthers.
Pass.
No.
Broncos.
Pass.
Raiders.
Nah.
Pass.
Yeah.
Giants.
Pass.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gabe talks about Daniel Jones so much on this show. He's practically a
Well,
Green Bay
again,
member of the
Daniel-
Green Bay organization.
Daniel Jones is a legend at the bank, which is the only place you need to be a legend at.
Steelers.
Steelers.
Green Bay Light. Green Bay versus
Green Bay Light.
Well, that's how they're going to market it.
Can
you imagine Mike Tirico on Sunday night?
What's
Can you
the
imagine
under
Mike
over?
Tomlin's reaction to that?
What do you think the under
He might
over
kill
is on
someone.
Steeler wins? 8?
They're
I don't know what their
going to
schedule
have
is.
9. You have to set it at 9.5.
Well, because he's got winning seasons every year.
minimum he's going to have 9
Really?
wins. That's what Tomlin does.
Crab cakes and football. Buccaneers. These are the home opponents now.
Terrible.
Saints.
Nope.
Why?
Because they're not very good.
They got one of the cars.
Who's their coach?
Sean Payton's
Light.
offensive coordinator.
Sean Payton.
Rams.
Is his name Dennis something?
Dennis Allen.
Leary? Oh.
Dennis
Erickson. Allen.
Dennis Allen. Dennis Leary is a comedian. Dennis
it.
Erickson coached when you played.
Allegedly. He hasn't been funny in years. The Chargers.
Chargers possible.
The Chargers are in the AFC. They have so many more. If they end up with 5 primetime games again,
You're saying it'll be against all of these other teams, all of
Yes.
these other AFC
all these
opponents.
actual exciting games.
Chiefs.
Yeah, if it's early in the year.
Yeah. Chiefs, I put a check mark next
Yes.
to.
That's got Week 5 Thursday Night Football written all over.
And
it.
then BLV. Bears, Lions, Vikings.
One of them will.
Well, then you've got your 3. Because you're saying
Don't
one
they play the
road.
Patriots this year?
No, they played the Patriots last year.
Okay.
So that's it. So there's your 3. You
Yeah.
got the over. You took the over. You get the
Yeah.
over.
I think that's safe.
Gabe is taking the under.
Are you really?
The
So you
games
think
are
2?
terrible. I think 2. They'll
I know,
get
but
a
it's the
Thursday night
Packers.
game.
It's the
I know.
Packers.
So they'll get Packers Bears. I mean, it feels like the Packers and Bears have played Week 2 on Sunday Night Football for like the last decade. So I'm going Week 2 Packers Bears. Don't know where it's at, if it's going to be in Lambeau or down at Soldier. And you know what? I'll say that one's at Soldier Field because they'll get a home Thursday night game against the Chiefs.
We are setting the over-under for primetime games for Green Bay Packers at 2.5 here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We just went through the opponents for 2023, and Chewy was able to find 3. He thinks they'll get one of their NFC North opponents on the road and at home, and they will also get the Chiefs. But what do you think? 800-990-3776. That's our ESPN Milwaukee talk and text line. It's how you can get in with the show every single morning. Jason Wilde joining us next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Ridgetop Exteriors, the best quality roof siding, windows, doors, expertly installed, all at an affordable price. That's right. There is a company out there. If you've made the decision to make that investment back into your house for an exterior project, there is a company in Ridgetop Exteriors that provides the best quality roof siding, windows, doors, expertly installed, all at an affordable price. But that's not all, because with Ridgetop Exteriors, they consider customer service their number one goal, and they strive to exceed those expectations of the people they work with. Plus, with recent storms affecting homeowners in Greendale, Bayview, Jackson, Cedarburg, Grafton, Hartford, this is the place to call. No interest, no and low interest financing is available with Ridgetop Exteriors. So make sure you get that free estimate by logging on to their website at ridgetopexteriors.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We have an accident now on westbound 94, right just past Blue Mound Road, right past just west of Gerke's Corners, and we've got the left lane. The left lane is blocked, although it is very thick fog through there, so it's making visibility not all that great. Going to make your commute a little bit dangerous, so you do want to be careful. Other than that, we've got a relatively good clear ride through the rest of the system. Traffic is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast, that patchy fog still hanging around a little bit, but then it'll burn off. It'll be mostly sunny, a high of 63 at the lakefront, 70 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
One's a Marquette Hall of Famer.
Who get more votes, me or you, for president?
The other may or not make things up from time to time.
You would.
Why would you just automatically say me?
There's nothing that I do better than you. Nothing.
Homer and Tony.
Why would anybody pick me?
You do politics better.
That would mean that I'm not as good, but that I can just fake it or something.
Hey, there's your specialty. Faking it, making it up.
No.
You're in.
No.
You're hired.
I wouldn't vote for me.
You're elected.
I wouldn't vote for me against you.
Weekdays 2 to 4 on 94.5 ESPN.
RJ Schenner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems, better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. they'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems, reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Hey, this is Gary Ellison for my good friends at the Jewelry Center. It's the only place I go when I'm looking to get some new jewelry. Dean and his team are always friendly and know just what I'm searching for when I stop by. I may not always know what type of jewelry I want, but the professionals there sure do. Plus, if I need repairs on watches or other jewelry, the Jewelry Center does that too. Find the Jewelry Center in Burlington, Brookfield, and Greenfield, or shop their entire collection online, including their popular Lightbox lab-grown diamonds at shoptjc.com.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry. Ridgetop Exteriors is Wisconsin's #1 choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. We are the trusted local experts who live and work in the areas we serve, which means we're helping friends and neighbors too. On top of that, Ridgetop Exteriors offers the most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Ready, down, put. All Packers Packers all the time.
You can't miss consistently in the second and third rounds too often because then you're messing up your roster. And so I think Goody needs and the Packers scouting staff need to have a really good night.
Okay, most of the time.
Almonds specifically or all nuts?
Well, these nuts, those nuts, whatever nuts work.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Boucher Automotive. With 16 different new car brands and over 35 pre-owned brands to choose from. Boucher Automotive. We are driven by you. And by the Bridgewater Modern Grill. Nestled in the heart of Milwaukee's emerging Harbor District. Enjoy a specialty crafted menu centered around a custom oak-fed grill.
Friend and teammate Jason Wilde hanging out with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy this morning. Good morning, Jason. How are you today?
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
We're good. We're going over the new parameters that were released yesterday about the NFL schedule. And Gabe has set the over-under for primetime games for the Green Bay Packers in 2023 at
2.5.
Would you take the over or the under on that, Jason?
It's a great line. I think I'll take the over.
Because they're going to get 2 Thursday night games?
I think they're going to get a Sunday night. I think they're going to get a Thursday night, obviously. And I think they're going to get a Monday night. We'll have to wait and see, but they are still a big draw, but not as big as when they have one of the all-time great quarterbacks playing for them. So I will definitely take the over if you're setting the line at 2.5 for the Jets.
Well, yeah,
I would not. No, what did you set the line at? You were just guessing. Did you say something like
7?
They can only have 5.
I said 5. I thought you said they had 6 last year.
Because it got flexed.
When the schedule comes out, the most you can have is 5, but then if a game gets flexed, you can have more.
So it still could be 7. 2 flexes.
Yes, if you want to, yes.
Surprised you didn't give me your 2 flexes right there.
Jason, who's your favorite crew from primetime? You got Buck Aikman, you got Collinsworth with Tirico, and you got Herb Street with
Al
Michaels.
Buck and Aikman, I've never quite, again, fans get to feel however they want about whatever announcing crew they listen to. I just personally have never understood the level of vitriol for Buck and Aikman. I also don't know if Buck and Aikman make you want to watch Monday Night Football more so than other announcing crews would. Kind of feel like if you want to watch Monday Night Football, you'll watch Monday Night Football, but they would be by far the one that I like the best. But again, I'm too nostalgic. I'm too nostalgic. I wish there was a way, with AI and everything. I'm hoping for Summerall and Madden for a few games this year.
He didn't even mention Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olson, who are now the number 1 at Fox after Buck and Aikman went to ESPN for Monday Night Football. Do you like them?
Yeah, but they don't have primetime games.
Oh, I guess you're right.
Herb Street will be better, right?
I'm more worried about Al checking out during games like he did last year if you're watching Thursday because they were all so bad. But Jason, how important is the schedule release to the people inside the building? Because I remember we all circled the stretch of games that kind of ended up being the downfall of the team last year where they were away from Lambeau Field for so long because the London game counted as a home game. How much are they going to be paying attention on Thursday night into Friday as this thing comes out?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Gabe, bringing that up is a really good point because, I did not think they handled that well at any level, right? They chose not to take the bye week after the trip to London. Obviously, Rodgers broke his thumb in London. Then they came home to the Jets and played poorly in that game, and that obviously continued what turned into a 5-game losing streak. So they don't have a London game, so obviously that changes their view of their schedule already. But if you remember right, they had almost, I don't want to call it a defeatist attitude, but Matt LaFleur set a terrible tone. He could not have been more miserable about the fact that they had to go to London. And I thought that attitude really kind of permeated the team. I don't know how much that was an issue in the weeks before they actually went, but the week that they went, They were just, their attitude was so bad collectively, led by their head coach. So it's important, certainly, because the old NFL adage is it's not who you play, it's when you play them. And they've obviously got some, I don't want to say easy games, because I don't know how good the Packers are going to be. And, I mean, there could be teams looking at their schedule going, well, all right, at least we got the Packers in Week 6, so that'll help. Like, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what their schedule looks like.
And it's just the schedule itself, Jason, like, I mean, yeah, okay, the Chiefs are exciting, but the Chiefs are going to have a bunch of primetime games because of how good the AFC is. Same thing with the Chargers. I just don't know where you pull primetime games out of, because the schedule itself isn't very exciting based on the teams that they play, since they drew the AFC South, which could be the worst division in football this year.
Yeah, I don't know. Packers, Texans feels like a pretty good Monday night, right?
Excuse me, NFC South, not the AFC South. They have the AFC West, the NFC South.
Okay,
I apologize.
Thank you for your apology. Because I was going to say, I swear they're playing the Raiders.
Yeah, they are.
They've got the Raiders, but like, to me, even if Rodgers was there, you got the Rodgers-Devontae angle, but it just kind of loses a little bit for me if it's just Devontae versus the Packers, unless that's screaming Thursday night game to you.
I mean, I think here's the issue, Gabe. I think the television networks believe, and I think they're right, that even without Rodgers, the Packers fans do very well in the ratings for them. So I think there's a curiosity about them as well, so I think they'll get an early season primetime game. But no, they're not that much of a draw right now, although they're not rebuilding. I would like to reiterate, they're not rebuilding. Don't let the fact that they won't have as many primetime games influence your view of that. They are simply recombobulating.
That's where you've landed?
That's where...
landed? Was that an airport joke? Because the recombobulation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was the we got like 200 and some responses to what they're doing. My favorites were playing. That's helpful. Also, the crowd that said, "Who cares?" Well, I can't believe you took the time to reply with "Who cares?" Because then, does that not indicate that to some level you care at least enough to say, "Who cares?"
Yeah, that's always one of the great self-owns, when someone jumps in your Twitter mentions and tells you, "Who cares?" You're like, cool, could have kept moving along. Could have kept it moving. Just chose to stop. Give a comment.
Jason, who's going to have the C on their jersey?
Zadarius Smith. I guess Bakhtiari, although when you kind of bemoan the fact that your team is rebuilding publicly like he did.
I mean, is it his team? He said they are rebuilding, Jason.
He did. That's another good point. Yeah, I think Kenny Clark will. It's interesting because, we went through the roster a little bit yesterday just in terms of talking about veterans and leadership. As of right now, they have 3 players of 30 who have achieved their 30th birthday. Do you know who they are?
3 players that are 30 years old.
The punter.
Pat O'Donnell.
Yep.
Really?
Because, yep.
So Pat O'Donnell.
And I'm out. Just like on top 8 at 8.
Ooh, this is a good question. Offense or defense, Jason?
One of each.
Is Devondre still on the roster?
Amos isn't.
Devondre Campbell?
Yeah.
Of course he's still on the roster.
That's my answer.
Jason?
Devondre Campbell is 29 years old.
Ooh.
He'll be turning 5. Damn it. So no.
Oh, Preston Smith.
Preston Smith.
And then off.
And
Bakhtiari.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Aaron Jones has got to be a captain, right? He was a captain last year.
Yep. I would think that he will be. Sure. That's a good one. Who else you got?
I mean, Jordan Love just
You
by
don't think
default,
Love?
right?
Jair, would they make Jair a captain?
He was a captain 2 years ago, then wasn't a captain last year.
Love that. Who did that?
Jair.
Was that you or Jen? Was that you?
No, you should have made him guess.
That was pretty good. A little jealous.
That was me. Jair, I would guess, gets a C. Aaron Jones gets a C.
What is that?
That's
Jair Alexander after. I mean, he did it twice, but the first time was after the Bears game, I believe. On prime time.
He was describing the play, right? He was describing either an interception or...
You don't remember that from last year, Jason?
I got
Actually, pretty thrilled about the winding path we took to land there. Nice little pit stop. I don't know.
Jordan Love,
I'm
Aaron
stuck.
Jones, Kenny, Jair,
Two more?
Pat O'Donnell.
What?
Oh.
What?
You talking captains?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
They usually
too
have-
many.
No, they had 6.
3's good.
They typically do 2 offense, 2 defense, 2 special teams. And then Keyshawn.
Dallin Levitt.
Maybe. Could be. Dallin Levitt, who made news last year when he was praising Jordan Love on one of the shows up in Green Bay, right?
Yeah, I mean, he played with him at college.
So they're pals, is what you're saying?
So yeah, and you know, he was asked about Jordan Love. It was interesting because I thought there were some people that I thought kind of misread that and made it into a bigger deal than if you get asked on a live I think it was on a streaming show. I think it was the thing they do in Appleton. I mean, what are you gonna say? That's kind of where we're at, right? All this Love talk. We got to wait and see him play in games that count for longer than 1 start in Kansas City and 10 snaps in Philly, because I just, who in their right mind right now is going to say, yeah, I'm not sure about him if they play for the team or they're a coach. He's such a great kid, and he really plays hard. I mean,
but that's why Matt LaFleur's comments were so interesting, right, Gabe? Because he said he's matured in all areas of his life. And Gabe was
that was the best
whoa.
thing that somebody had to say about him so far during all of the offseason. Aaron Rodgers,
citizen.
pick up the 5th year,
It's a very
5th year
solid
option
citizen.
stuff. What? I mean, if David Bakhtiari's just being so honest, shouldn't somebody ask him what he thinks about Jordan Love?
Yeah, I would be curious to know if he got any sort of phone calls from people on the 3rd floor.
Talking to?
What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're rebuilding. Don't tell anyone.
Jason, to your point about not seeing Jordan Love, do you think the Packers can expect record crowds out there at training camp this year? That's where they open up where fans can go and they do the bikes and all that stuff. You think that we'll see record crowds? I mean, I remember the way that those stands were packed and people standing at the gates and at the fences peering in when the Favre to Rodgers transition took place. And obviously there was chanting and heckling and all of that stuff. Do you think we'll see comparable crowds?
I don't think we will see comparable crowds in 2008. If Rodgers was going to be here, we might. But there were people trying to get you to sign a petition on your way to practice. There was a 12-year-old kid that dropping F-bombs on Rodgers while he tried to punch in the code to get into the parking lot.
So good.
1265. There is part of... Yes,
They've changed the code. The number of times you've announced it on the radio here,
They've had to have changed it by
$1,000,000%.
now.
Because somebody has driven up there and tried to punch 1265 into the keypad, so they've changed it for sure.
Maybe it's
no, I think there'll be some curiosity, certainly, but again, I just feel like star power is much more powerful than curiosity about an unproven player. But I'm sure there'll be lots of people that'll say, "Hey, let's go to camp. Let's go see what Jordan Love looks like." If you live in Whitefish Bay, or you live in New Berlin, or you live in the city of Milwaukee, or wherever else, you're going to come up I-43 maybe for a practice when you might not have done it in past years. So I think there'll definitely be some curiosity, but I don't think it's going to be, just Love-a-palooza and everyone just can't wait to see the new quarterback.
You should trademark that. Love-a-palooza, because somebody's going to put it on a T-shirt, and you should at least...
X.
You should at least get some
Relax.
residuals from that, Jason. We appreciate you hanging out with us this morning. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
Oh, thank goodness it's back. Jason Wilde can, of course, be heard on Wilde and Tausch right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right here on ESPN Milwaukee. Okay, we will continue asking you this morning, will the Packers have over or under 2.5 primetime games this season? So the thing I think that jams this up, guys, is the Amazon games. The Amazon games are technically considered prime time, even though they're on Thursday night. I could see the Packers getting 2 Amazon games this year, and then they'd only need 1 Sunday night football game or Monday night football game to get the over there. We will continue discussing that right after this on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we do have an accident now. It is on westbound 94, just past the Gerke's Corners area, and it is blocking the left lane. Visibility is really bad around there because of the heavy fog, so you do want to be extra careful as you're coming up on this and moving over to the right to get past it. It's also slowing things down on the eastbound side as folks are trying to slow down getting past that scene. We also have a little bit of a backup along 94 eastbound from 84th Street through to about Hawley Road. Traffic is brought to you by Evans Transportation in Brookfield, where they provide customized logistics solutions to keep you and your business moving forward. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, patchy fog, mostly sunny, a high of 63 at the lakefront, 70 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, sponsored by Ridgetop Exteriors on 94.5 ESPN.
Life is supposed to be fun. With Best Burger Awards in the trophy case, peanuts raining from the ceiling, and boozy custard shakes, AJ Bombers is just plain fun. Located on Water Street in downtown Milwaukee, AJ Bombers is the perfect place for pregame grub. Prefer to watch the game from a bar stool? Enjoy great views from multiple flat-screen TVs while you cheer on Milwaukee's home teams with a smash-style burger and fried cheese curds. Visit AJ Bombers on Water Street or check out ajbombers.com.
Are you kidding me? Gas prices are up again? Somebody has to do something.
Well, someone did. That's why I use Upside.
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that pays you back real money for every gallon of gas or diesel you buy. I just earned 25 cents back on every gallon of this tank.
So the Upside app is free and you actually get cash back every time you use it? No strings attached?
Yep, it's awesome. Check it out. It only takes a couple of minutes to sign up.
Instead of just watching your dollars go into your tank, start putting money back into your wallet with the free app from Upside. With the price of gas today, it's big news and big money. To cash out of your Upside cash, just transfer it to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card. Upside users have already earned over $200 million. Now it's your turn. Download the free Upside app and get cash back on every gallon of gas. Use promo code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. That's code ESPN17. Use code ESPN17 for an extra 25 cents per gallon back in your first fill-up. Cashback's not available in gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta, and I have told you about the delicious pizza and Italian snacks that you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel. But now there's even more to be excited about. The restaurant has added new sandwiches to the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy items like the Red Rock Chicken BLT, the Meatball Hero, and more. Order from the counter at Proof or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
During COVID-19, many businesses have had to furlough staff or reduce wages. Others have shut down completely.
A loss of income forces people to leave their homes in search of more affordable housing. Tragically, some people of color are shut out of housing opportunities because of their race, color, or national origin.
If you suspect housing discrimination, file a complaint with HUD.
Fair housing. The law is on your side.
Learn more at hud.gov/fairhousing.
A public service message from HUD in partnership with the National Fair Housing Alliance.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Probably are forums, groups, areas where you can find someone in that space.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm just a normal person, so that doesn't really apply to me. That hurts. Not gonna lie.
You're not normal.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Maybe it won't reach 2008 levels, but I think you will see an awful lot of people finding their way up to Lambeau Field, up to the practice field to see Jordan Love this summer when training camp begins. I think there's just been so much buildup and an insatiable curiosity about what this kid can do. So if you find yourself with an afternoon or a morning, I bet you see a bunch of people going just to try to see for themselves what Jordan Love has and what he can offer the Green Bay Packers this season. We put it on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. Will the Packers have over or under 2.5 primetime games this season? And the Amazon games are what are jamming me up, Gabe.
Okay.
The Amazon games, because I think that the Packers could likely have two now that they came out with this new parameter. Because last year it was just every team had one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now they have this new parameter. I could see Green Bay being a two-time Amazon Thursday night.
But still, I just don't know what attractive opponents are on their schedule.
But Amazon's going to get the last pick. It's like being out on the playground and picking teams. Somebody's got to take, that kid.
But still, there are so many good teams in the AFC, and the schedules are packed. So again, for example, the Kansas City Chiefs. They obviously have the Chargers home and away. So they have the Chargers twice. They have the Bills, Bengals, and Eagles all at home, and then still on the road have teams like Jacksonville and the New York Jets. Their schedule is going to fill. There are so many good teams in the AFC. I feel the AFC is just going to dominate a lot of those big time matchups that have the most eyeballs.
So walk me through this here. Can they be flexed out of a game? Let's say they gave them a Week 12 primetime game. Can they be flexed out of that?
So Monday Night Flex has started, and Sunday Night Flex. I don't know when Monday Night Football Flex starts on the schedule, but they could be flexed out of a Sunday night game, yes.
Now, I could see that just to CYA be like, all right, let's put one in Week 12 just in case something happens and they're good, because we can always flex out of that. So could you see him going like 4 out of the gate?
No, that's just too high.
Yeah, but what?
Again, with their opponents.
What if they are good, though, Gabe? Not great, but good, and they're a draw. Wouldn't you, if you were a network, say, you know what, I'm going to take a flyer on them?
I mean, look at it this way, Gabe. We've all looked at the schedule and said this is a crappy schedule. What if they win some of these games? Let's just play this out hypothetical, Chewy's hypothetical. What if they're winning games, and what if the NFL is thinking they might be winning some of these games even though they're a wild card and we don't know?
Flex them in?
Yeah, you can always flex them in. For the same way, you can, if you want to flex them out, you can always flex them in.
Is it easier to flex them in or flex them out?
That's a great question. Depends on what we're talking about.
Flex them in.
Flex them in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it works for his argument. I think it's just as easily to flex him out, to be honest with you.
I really didn't know what that meant.
You got a little lost there, lost in the sauce. I got an article here, AmericanFootballInternational.com, ranking NFL fan bases, okay?
Ooh.
Ranking the NFL fan bases, because we feel like that may have a say in the direction that the NFL goes here. I tried to seuss my way through that, and I lost the A's on the end. I'm sorry. I thought maybe I could do back to back to back, but I only got the 2. Anyway, there it is. Top 5.
Oh, this could power rank. Here's your power rank.
Well, sure.
It's better than the one I had.
No, you're fine.
I'm good.
Pittsburgh Steelers, the top 5, 5th best.
I want to guess.
Oh, crap. I'm sorry. All right. Well,
Steelers are 5.
Uh-huh.
Can we fudge that? Dallas is 1.
Dallas is not 1. But they are in the top 5.
Dallas isn't 1? Then Green Bay's 1.
Did you want to make any other guesses, or are we done? I don't know the rules of this game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because you just ignore it all and cheat whenever we do power rankings, so that makes sense that you would not be familiar with how the game is actually played. Buffalo's on that list.
Buffalo is not on the list.
Okay.
They might be ascending just with the success they've had over recent years, but they're not on the
I
list
just hope
right
this
now.
list isn't like, oh, they've won a little bit in the last few years.
They're
and
not.
They're number 1.
It's not.
It's got to be.
I mean, what other fan bases are jumping through tables? I can't believe the Bills aren't in the top 5.
New England Patriots is number 2. I don't know what we're doing anymore. I'm just going to give you the answers because we're running out of time. Dallas Cowboys, number 3, as you guys expected. Philadelphia Eagles, number 4.
Green Bay 1.
Green Bay, number 1.
Patriots 2?
Green Bay, number 1 fan base.
That's not good.
So I wonder if... What? Are you serious? I think the Patriots have more fans nationally.
Having
but
lived
also,
there, it's...
when did you live there, too?
91 was my last year. But just
Up
because
to
they
date.
won, right? Oh, all of a sudden you win, you're a great fan base. Let's see you suck for a while.
Well, we may get that. You may get that wish.
That's true.
But the point I was trying to make by giving you guys this list was this article, AmericanFootballInternational.com, considers the Green Bay Packers to be the number one fan base in the world. I think that's got to work for something.
World?
I mean, you know what I mean. Good grief. It's like when you
In
say
the NFL.
world champions.
Oh.
You say world champions even though you didn't play anyone from any other country except Canada.
But could they be number one in the U.S.? Take basketball, take baseball.
What?
I'm saying, are
We
they
know
the
that-
most popular franchise in the United States? Are
They're
they
not
more
even the most-
popular than the Yankees?
They're,
Are they?
no,
Yes,
they're
they
not.
are.
They're not more popular than the Cowboys.
I disagree.
Like the Cowboys.
I disagree. If you watch ESPN game,
I think that
if you
Packers
watch
have overtaken them,
ESPN,
Gabe.
It's Green Bay, Green Bay, Green Bay. You don't even hear about Dallas, and Green Bay's really not supposed to do that well this year. Dallas is supposed to be in the mix, and you turn it on. I guarantee at some point in time they'll have some Packer news today.
Let me ask you a question. Do you guys want to know what this article considers the bottom 5 fan bases in the country and see if that gives you any, yes. It makes sense? Okay, the bottom 5 fan bases in the country: Jaguars, Cardinals, Bengals, Titans, Commanders. Does that track for you?
Commanders, no. They've just been so bad for so long, but that franchise back in the 80s and early 90s was
I believe
probably
this
top
article is
5.
talking right now. Right now.
Yeah.
2022.
But that feels fair weathery to me.
I think
know
that's
what I mean?
yeah, because again, when you're a peripheral fan, you jump on the bandwagon when the team is good. That doesn't surprise me at all that when a team is good, the fan base grows.
I don't know, because I don't guarantee, but in 92, after 20 years of crap, I bet the Packers were still top 10 fan bases.
But so what are you arguing? I can't tell if
I'm just arguing that, like the Kansas City Chiefs, you can't put them high, or I'm just saying these teams that all of a sudden win, and it's new to them, all of a sudden they're a great fan base. No, I want a fan base that takes the crap with the creme de la creme.
then you could argue that this year the Packers, if they're crap, will still have one of the top fan bases in the country. Ergo, will still have more primetime games than 2.5. Well, yes, over. Take the over. That's all I was saying was if they base it at all on fan base and if they think people are going to be tuning in across the country, this article, and I'm sure I could find others, and look, they might not all have Green Bay at number 1, but I bet it's pretty consistently top 5. But the Packers are pretty consistently top 5 fan base.
Like where are the Bears on that list?
They only gave me top 5, bottom 5.
Okay.
I'll see if I can find a more comprehensive list for
Because
you.
I'd say the Bears, that's still a proud fan base.
Yeah.
Right? And they stunk.
For a while.
For a long time. You know? That's all I'm saying. Like, if you took the poll at the beginning of this year and said, oh, the LA Rams are, 8. Like, give me a break.
Yeah.
They're not 8.
Especially being in L.A.
Yeah.
They used to be in St. Louis. That's a rabid fan base.
Yeah.
I got another list here. I got another list here that aggregated it based on social media followers. So they aggregated it from the Instagram accounts, the Facebook accounts, the Twitter accounts. Green Bay Packers number 5 on the list. Hugely popular, owned by the fans with more than 2.5 million followers. The 4-time champs have Aaron Rodgers, and with that, they are an instant title competitor. This was the 2022 season.
Okay.
Seattle Seahawks were number 4. Pittsburgh Steelers were number 3. Dallas Cowboys number 2. New England Patriots number 1. And again, that's based on followers on social media.
I'm just not buying it. Haven't lived in New England for 22 years.
You think a lot of the fair weathers are going to start to...
Yeah, when they stink, they're like, okay, we like the Giants. That's what I did. You know what I mean?
So this is just convenienttheoriesforchew.org.
I should make more lists.
We like the Giants. That's what I
Will
did.
you ever make lists? You should, sure, but will you? No.
I don't know. Will we, Gabe?
You got a mouse in your pocket?
You like that term, no?
Have you guys been to St. Kate the Arts Hotel recently? If you're looking for the perfect restaurant for your next night out, make Aria, the acclaimed restaurant inside St. Kate the Arts Hotel, your next dinner destination. They specialize in artisanal American cuisine, featuring carefully prepared seasonal entrees, along with a robust selection of craft cocktails, wine, and local beer. Look, if I got a night out, I am absolutely taking my loved ones, my friends, my pals to Aria at St. Kate the Arts Hotel. First of all, St. Kate, it's just a really classy joint. And I know you're like, when they let you in there, huh? Yeah, they do. They'll appreciate when I show up and enjoy some of their trademark chicken served family style with sides like mashed potatoes, goat cheese biscuits, and more. So you guys should also put it on your calendar. Make your plans to dine today at Aria inside the St. Kate Arts Hotel. Learn more and make reservations at Aria, A-R-I-A, at stkate.com. A-R-I-A at stkate.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Change the way you do business and take more control of the payment process with Fifth Third Bank's Treasury Management Solutions. Their market expertise and managed services streamline the entire payment process and integrate with your existing systems, giving you more control than ever. With their suite of payment solutions, you will soon recognize new revenue sources that can save time, offset operating costs, and improve the bottom line, all customized for your business. Fifth Third Bank National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
There's only one place in Milwaukee where every day of the year, dreams and reality get together for a great time. Where you can walk in a player and walk out a winner. That place, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. With fantastic dining, gaming, sports betting, a luxurious hotel, and endless ways to win, the excitement never stops. The only thing missing is you. Your win is waiting, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Visit our website to learn more. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Inflation is nothing more than a legal form of theft, because with every new round of money printing, the value of your 401k or IRA is decreased through the dilution of the money supply. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and while you can, I highly recommend you consider physical gold for your retirement account. Why? Because gold provides real wealth preservation that can withstand anything. Even better, with a gold IRA from Birch Gold Group, you pay no penalties or taxes when you transfer your current retirement funds. To learn more, get a free info kit on gold from my friends at Birch Gold. There is no cost or obligation, so request this information right now.
Call Birch Gold Group today at 800-533-1344 to get your free info kit on gold. Call 800-533-1344. That's 800-533-1344.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. Is your check engine light on? The free Fix Finder service reads your check engine, ABS, and maintenance lights. It even sends a detailed report directly to your email. When you need to get back on the road, AutoZone's free Fix Finder service is here. Get the most complete free warning light report backed by technician-verified fixes. Only at AutoZone.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See details at AutoZone.com.
Progressive presents Precious Moments.
Nothing beats driving cross-country in our RV.
This is so much fun, Dad. I don't even need to look at my phone.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. Jinx!
The exchange you just heard didn't actually happen, but it could. Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive and you could use the savings to make sure that RV is always ready to hit the road. Who knows, your teenager might actually put down her phone for 5 minutes. It could happen. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I'm going to go with the corn dog, the old corn dog. The corn dog for the
pierogies
birthday.
and borscht all day long.
That's just crazy. Nobody likes borscht,
Oh,
let alone
God,
on their
it's
birthday.
so good. It's the only thing that makes my mouth water, other than my wife.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Talking about the NBA playoffs just makes me a little bit sad. Celtics 76ers have that series tied up 2-apiece. Nuggets and Suns are tied up 2-apiece. But the other games are all but over. Heat are up 3-1 on the Knicks. Lakers last night went up 3-1 on the Warriors. And while we're talking about the Lakers-Warriors games, did you guys see this story about Gary Payton Jr., who apparently during the game vomited in his mouth, held the vomit in his mouth for an entire possession, and then...
Really?
I mean, you don't want to vomit on the court.
Right.
You know how long that would take to clean up?
Be a timeout.
And then apparently, well, you don't get to call timeout on the... I mean,
Well, I mean,
you can,
if-
but you can.
Puke in your mouth?
If you vomit on the floor, the officials are going to stop the game. That is a health risk.
Ugh.
Can you imagine LeBron coming down and suffering an injury because he slipped on someone's vomit?
Ugh. Yee.
They would have really stepped in it, Gabe.
So apparently, based on the videos, it looks like he does. He does the heaving thing that we,
Yep.
And
See
then
the shoulders start
his
to go?
mouth is full for an entire possession. And then when he gets an opportunity, he does. He gets off the court, and I guess
Runs off the floor. I don't know if he went all the way back to the locker room. I don't know if he just found a trash can to.
There's probably water.
Yeah, who's among
Probably
us?
drank
Well,
too
yeah,
much
Gatorade or water. Yeah, I'm not saying we've talked about that before. Does that count as vomit? I think vomit has to have chunks.
Yeah, I agree.
Otherwise, it's just a regurge. And we are regurging this topic because I definitely am remembering having this conversation on this very show. That's
deja
not
vu.
even the most disgusting vomit story I have for you guys.
I don't want to be here.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So I was with some buddies this weekend, and my buddy is telling a story.
Gals or girls?
Both.
Gals or
Gals and
Okay.
gals and guys. Gals and girls.
Can you call girls buddies?
Yeah,
Just
why
seems
not?
weird.
You don't like buddies?
Like buddies is kind of guys. Like
Why?
girls
'Cause-
call other girls that are friends buddies.
Pals. These are my pals.
Okay.
But again, there were boys there also, so why not the buddies be referring to the boys and the pals be referring to the girls? Anyway, digressing. My buddy is telling us the story about how on his 21st birthday, he got very, very schnookered, very intoxicated, right?
Makes sense.
Practically vomited on the way to the bar. Did end up vomiting while at the bar. Did not want to excuse himself when he vomited, so he just vomited into his cup. Okay? It was like a red Solo cup sitting on the bar. So he just...
Nope.
I got the cheeks.
No.
Damn Holmgren.
So he vomits into the cup, right? His girlfriend comes walking over.
No, don't even say she drank it. I'll throw up.
No, I mean, that's... Would you rather
She
drink...
drank it? Oh!
Would you rather drink that, or, as someone who played college baseball, would you rather drink somebody's...
Whizzle?
No, spit cup.
Yeah.
That's gross, too.
Because I've seen that happen on more than one occasion, where you have the red Solo cup, it's somebody's spitter for the tobacco, they put it down, somebody takes a drink.
Drink the vomit.
What did she do?
Well, she got very upset. Very.
Did you throw it at him?
No. I mean, again, the whole point of throwing up into the cup was to be inconspicuous. They didn't want to cause a scene.
Oh my
Don't
God.
you?
So I almost...
It's a red Solo cup. Once it's here,
Gabe.
like right before you take the drink.
She did not. She just...
Aren't you like? It's just gonna penetrate in your nose. You should be able to stop.
All right, we don't even need to pull
Took
this.
a gulp.
Would you rather take a gulp of someone's vomit or someone's dip cup? I'm taking... Oh, but they're both disgusting.
Dip cup.
You're all
Dip
dip
cup.
leaps for this.
I almost secondhand vomited hearing the story, which is why I needed to share it with all of you.
I'm mad.
Just
I'm
appreciate Gary
upset.
Payton giving me the opportunity to do so.
I'm really uncomfortable.
Can I report this to HR? Because I'm upset.
Set him the entire segment.
You want some of my Mio?
He
No,
promises.
that
He
could be
promises
Euro.
it's Mio.
It's not Mio, it's Euro.
Yeah, we're good.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy after this.
Full show podcasts, interviews, and special content is available right now at WisconsinOnDemand.com. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on 94.5 ESPN.
An accident in Waukesha County wreaking havoc. Westbound 94, almost at Springdale Road. The left lane is still blocked with this. We've got massive delays all the way back past Highway 16 to that accident scene. The westbound side is going to be slow from Highway 100 all the way to the accident scene. Part of the problem is going to be the fog and the lack of visibility, so you do want to be careful. Eastbound 94 also going to be slow from 84th Street through the stadium. The westbound side heavy out of the Marquette through the stadium. Northbound 41 From the zoo up past Watertown Plank Road, it's going to be a heavy spot. Southbound 43, by the way, from Brown Deer Road down past Good Hope and then back on the brakes all the way past Silver Spring. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle, the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin. Schedule your tee time at club@laclabelle.com and start your journey. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, patchy fog, which will eventually burn off. Mostly sunny then for the rest of the day. A high of 63 at the lakefront, 70 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's time for you and that diamond to come alive again.
At the second annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Even if you have a good ultrasonic jewelry cleaner, it can't match the pressurized steam cleaning we do at Kessler's.
Let us steam clean and polish your engagement ring.
For free.
I'm Joe Gerke, president of Kessler's, and we want to strip away all the soap scum that is making your diamond look dull.
For free. And while we're doing it, we'll inspect the prongs on your ring to make sure your diamond isn't about to fall out.
It's the second annual Spring Ring Cleaning at Kessler's.
Here's another idea. Bring us anything you own that needs to be repaired, and we'll give you a price to make it like new again.
And if you have some old jewelry you don't wear anymore,
We can make something unique and wonderful out of it.
unique in all the world.
Welcome to Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you, visit Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Football, family, and whatever this is.
Jordan Love, he could have put their feet to the fire and said, guarantee me $20 million in 2024, or don't give me the option. And if I show out, then you're going to have to pay me $40 million a year, or $35 million a year.
They went from having the back-to-back MVP to now, well, we are committing to you, but we don't really believe in you, but we believe in you.
Listen to Scalzo and Brust weekdays from 4 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN. Presented by Michelob Ultra.
Hey, this is Tony Smith. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So flowers, I'm good.
Oh, I don't know. Does she like flowers?
No.
Okay.
Well, then why would you ask that question, Tommy?
You don't understand. I'm in a very delicate position. Whatever I give her, she's going to be bringing in experts from all over the country to interpret the meaning behind it.
What does she need? Maybe there's something that she needs.
I think I heard her say something about a bench.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You know what else she likes as of Friday? Neosporin.
Just get her a nice, maybe some hydrogen peroxide.
Put it in a little gift box. Make it look like a necklace, and then open it up, and it's just a first aid kit.
Just the fact that you remembered means everything.
Of course I remembered. It reminded me every day for 2 months.
Cash?
What do you think?
You got me cash?
Well, that's right. I figure you can go out and get yourself whatever you want. No good?
Are you my uncle?
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight, he ain't doing nothing but running his
Early returns on our poll this morning. Will the Packers have over or under 2.5 primetime games this season? Have 62% of people saying the under. 62% of people agree with Gabe. They will not get to 2.5 primetime games this season. Eric, however, saying over. They're still the Packers. That's a national and international brand. Doesn't matter if they're in some sort of retooling this year. The flex schedule is different this year, too, so they may not start out with 3, but they will eventually get there. Neil weighing in saying a Thursday night game, 1, maybe 2 Monday night games, and I could see a division game being Sunday night early in the season as well. But Wisconsin Nation weighing in saying under. I couldn't be more excited as a fan. Give me that Sunday afternoon game or noon game every week. That's a lifestyle choice, right? The noon game. Because as we have said, the noon game means things. It means some things about your team.
Packers had more, I think they had more primetime games than they had noon games last year. Because when they weren't playing at noon, they were playing at 3:25. Not a lot of noon games.
I'm just saying it's a lifestyle thing because then you can go about your day type of thing. I actually
Do you think
prefer
the
the
Jets
3 o'clock
will be
game.
primetime week 1? Yes, that has to be.
Yeah.
just packaging it with the Packers, I think, because not only Jets fans are going to watch and whoever they're playing, a ton of Packer fans are going to watch as well.
Yeah, I think there's going to be intrigue.
You think 80% of the Packer fans watch the Jets play opening week?
That's a high number. It's a very high number.
You don't think so?
No.
I think it'll be huge.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a big number, but I don't think it's going to be 80% of Packers fans. Like, people have things that they do outside of watching football on Sunday.
We'll
you don't.
We'll get a really good idea of what the league thinks of the Green Bay Packers, I think, from this schedule and when it is released. But Mike Tannenbaum was on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max yesterday, and he was speaking pretty highly of what the Packers are putting together. Take a listen.
I'm going to say better. I'm a big fan of Jordan Love. I think he's actually gotten better. And then you look at the draft, they got a number of weapons, from Musgrave to Jaden Reed, Tucker Kraft, another tight end. And now they have those two young receivers, Christian Watson, who was a second-round pick a year ago, and Romeo Doubs, a fourth-round pick. They're going to be better. So that nucleus of skill players with two really good running backs, I think this offense actually will be better. And overall, if this team can stay healthy on defense, I think they can make the playoffs and actually be better than they were a year ago.
So when he says better, guys, just to clarify, he means better than they were in 2022.
I don't see it.
I don't see it.
First of all, he says two good backs. Aaron Jones is a good back.
Yeah.
A.J. Dillon, is he a good back? Hasn't really shown over the course of the 3 years that he's shown flashes, certainly, but I mean, how many times last year did you ask the question, where's A.J. Dillon?
Yeah.
Okay, but to give A.J. Dillon his flowers, somebody did come after him on social media recently. Not necessarily to him specifically, but was talking about how A.J. Dillon had underperformed, and Dillon responded to it. And if I recall, guys, and I don't have it in front of me, I can pull it up while we're chatting here, Dillon was incredibly gracious. He said something like, always trying to get better. Like it was very it's as opposed to what you would expect to see on social media, which is like bleep you and bleep that, you know what I mean? It was like always trying to get better. I will, go out there and work on these things. Not saying that the guy was like telling him what he needed to work on, but basically this idea of, he knew that he could have been better last year. That gives me confidence, more confidence. Good. From A.J. Dillon, I just found it. You grow from year to year and learn how to better yourself and your team. I've always set off-season goals and points of emphasis of things to focus on. Looking back at last year, your point rings true. If people are going to tackle me low most of the time, because that's what it's fun, what it was talking about was this style. I mean, but it's a lengthy response saying there's always room for improvement. These are things I will work on. And he says, go, Pack, go. So that actually gives me.
I mean, cool that he's gracious. Like, yeah, he's a good dude. We've always known he's a good dude. Loves Wisconsin, loves Door County, great. But like,
you got to do something about it.
Bud's a really good dude too, and he just got let go because he was unable to get the Bucs to where they needed to be. Like cool that you're gracious, and I would want that guy on my team. But at the end of the day, you got to perform. In the last 2 years, he hasn't.
I'm coming in lighter. Being big. I mean, you look at someone like Ron Dane, right? Great college player, got to the pro level, and was just too big. This league is so fast. I would tell him if I was a strength coach, look, drop 10, drop 15. See if you're more explosive. That's the only thing that's lacking. I mean, because the big part of it, you're getting 3, 5, 8 yards, but that's not going to get it done as a running back. You're not going to average 4.5 yards that way. You got to have a 35-yard run.
What's realistic expectations out of Romeo Doubs and Christian Watson?
They'll be better.
Who had a combined 1,000, just over 1,000, like 1,036 yards combined last year.
They'll be better because they've learned more. They've had a year in the system. They've been in the weight room, but they're still not going to be at the top of their game. And then you have the tight ends that have come in are kind of going to be like Watson was last year. Right? I'm going to go out and catch 75 balls, which you need out of a tight end in order to be a championship team. They're going to catch 32, 35. This is a process. God, and someone like Tannenbaum maybe that's why he wasn't a GM very long, is because it's a progression. Rookies rarely come in, and second-year guys rarely come in and light the world on fire. Does it happen? Yes. It doesn't happen often, right? Usually the third year is when Dobbs and Watson are going to be like, hey, Now I'm ready to say you're going to have 2,000-yard receivers. I'm not ready in their second year.
And that's, to me, that the problem that I have with it is you're expecting every young player to continue to develop and be great. Every young player is just going to continue to develop and be great. That's where, to me, not having some sort of veteran on this team to be a little bit more reliable than young players in their second or first years.
Yeah.
That's where I see this team not being able to handle all the inconsistencies that are going to be happening with the young players throughout the course of the season.
I think if there is one area where people think this team may take a step forward, it's the belief that Jordan Love will run Matt LaFleur's offense, and the belief that at times Aaron Rodgers hijacked the whole thing and then did what he wanted to do, and maybe also contributed to some of these people, maybe A.J. Dillon is an example, of not getting the touches or getting the plays, the snaps that they, carrying the ball, if you will. He's audibling out of it and stuff like that. Mina Kimes actually does think that there will be a step forward because of that. Take a listen to what Mina Kimes said yesterday on NFL Live regarding the Green Bay Packers in 2023.
What Matt LaFleur wants to do is to have a dominant run game that looks a lot like the pass game. He's so good at sequencing plays, making everything look the same, keeping defenses on their heels. I think with Jordan Love, I'm not saying it's an upgrade over Rodgers. It's obviously a step down in a lot of ways, but there is the potential to run that offense coupled with a quarterback who himself is capable of keeping the football on zone read, scrambling out of empty, manipulating defenses in the RPO game in a way that is different.
I just think they'll go back to having fun. Because they didn't always have fun. With Rodgers, it always just seemed like, you know how that friend that comes over and it just kind of throws a monkey wrench if you have 5 or 6 around and you got to kind of act differently because that person's around? That was kind of Rodgers, like, well, what's he going to say today in a press conference, or what's he going to be like today? I mean, if I go back too early in my career when Brett was tackling guys
in the end zone?
In the end zone. And that was real. That wasn't fake. That was like, man, we're having fun. This is great.
Did you feel, I mean, maybe not you, because although back then he was, asked if he was a linebacker.
Yeah.
Were you always aware of where he was coming from so he didn't, hit you and hurt you?
No, he'd sneak up on you. But he was tough to take down. I remember the last touchdown in County Stadium.
Oh, yeah, you tried to tackle him.
I'm trying to pull him down. I'm like, just fall down, idiot. It's not a contest to see if you can stay up because Chewy's pulling you down. This is fun. But I think they'll get back to that.
Okay, so you talk about worrying about what Rodgers would say in the press conference, and I always go to on the field.
Yeah.
I always go to playing tight and feeling like the moment you make a mistake, which is bound to happen, especially with all of the information that you're processing at a moment's notice, how he would kind of look over and give you that dirty look of like, what are you doing? How could you? And I feel like that then affected some players. It would affect me. And I feel like I'm pretty Teflon in those type of high pressure situations. But if I had somebody who was always, every time I did something or potentially stepped out of line or did something wrong, was making me feel lousy, it would affect me. I would down spiral. And I can't imagine that even though these guys are expected to be able to play at the highest level and elite and the creme de la creme type of stuff, I imagine that some of them dealt with that a little bit as well with Rodgers. And if you don't have to worry about that from the guy who's under center, I think you do put that as a hash in the win column as you look for ways this team will be better this season. I'm not necessarily willing to commit to the record will be better this season, but I think you will see a different dynamic, different relationships, different
100%.
chemistry on the field with the absence of Aaron Rodgers.
100%. It's going to be different. Just with this much inexperience, and Jason ran through it with 3 guys who are over the age of 30 right now, that's it. That's too much inexperience.
Yeah, they're going to make mistakes. With Rodgers, just always ruling with an iron fist. With young guys, it's hard enough to play in this league without having to worry what the quarterback is thinking about you. It's just, I don't think I've ever had that kind of pressure in my career. But it's just debilitating because when you start running routes to be like, well, is Aaron thinking I'm doing this? Things just have to happen organically, and that really does not happen until your third year because you're really a robot in year 1, year 2. Because these offenses, for the most part, are so much different than what you learned in college.
Could
we don't do that at this level.
Could that learning curve be extended without any veteran pass catchers?
It could. It could.
Because and as you were sitting there, I was also thinking of, you talk about when you played, about how Holmgren had his trusted allies, the guys that he actually believed in, and not every coach was a good coach.
No, definitely not.
I don't know if the Packers wide receiver coach, tight end coach, I don't know if those are good coaches. And if you don't have the veteran there to kind of help and help progress, that just makes me a little bit nervous about how this team progresses and how this team grows.
So Mike Tannenbaum thinks the Packers will be better this season than they were last season. I don't know if Tannenbaum specified record-wise, eye test-wise. I'm not exactly sure
He said
what.
Playoffs.
Okay.
Yeah, he did say playoffs.
All right, well, that would be better. Right? I guess it's pretty cut and dry. Gabe and Chewy are not buying it. What say you? We're putting that on the Jen, Gabe, and Chewy Twitter poll. No chance they're better is one option. I'm buying it is the other option. Adam in Cedarburg weighing in on our ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. He says, Aaron Rodgers wasn't good last year. The Packers will be better than they were last year because Rodgers was hurt. The wide receiver room will be better. The O-line is intact. The defense should be better with those additions and being healthier. And the culture will be better because Rodgers isn't there. There will be mistakes, but this team will be better than they were last year. And I think point by point, we agree for the most part with what Adam is putting together there, point by point.
Mistakes are going to be made. You're not going to be able to overcome all the mistakes. It's still going to be a team that is going to be on Hard Knocks in 2024.
You think?
Can you tell me?
Such a backhanded compliment, by the way.
If they miss the playoffs,
oh, they're going to try.
they're not going to fire LaFleur.
You got Murphy up there. Huh?
God, that would be such good TV.
Remember, Chewy thinks they would fire LaFleur just to not be on Hard Knocks.
All right, let me ask you this.
Okay.
This is a great question.
Yeah, we'll be the judge of that, buddy.
You forgot it already.
Now I got to make it great. If they are on Hard Knocks,
yes.
If they are on Hard Knocks, stop laughing, Jen. Will there be a camera in Murphy's office? Will he be a part of Hard Knocks?
Wait, 1,000,000%. I don't even. What? Yes.
It's never happened before.
Murphy loves the camera.
He loves to talk.
Yeah, but he has nothing to do with what Hard Knocks is.
Will he be cutting the players? This could be good.
We should get I'm going to try to get the HBO producer on and be like, just in case you want to get the Packers, how would you do this?
I mean, we all agree. The Packers missed the playoffs. They're on Hard Knocks next year, right?
Goody would want nothing to do with it, right? He wouldn't want a camera. He wouldn't want to be on the thing whatsoever.
It'd have to be. It doesn't matter, man. HBO's coming in.
But he'd be stale as ever. Murphy
Probably.
might be the highlight of the show.
It's possible.
Kind of liking this. Was that a great question?
I don't know.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I'll answer that.
Shut up.
I mean, a great question usually has a debatable response. We love our poll questions that end up 50-50, 49-51 type of thing. I said 1,000,000% Murphy would have a camera in his office.
Yeah.
No questions asked.
I mean,
for me, that's what I think.
He would want a camera 100%. I don't know if HBO would actually put a camera up there.
Lots of reaction rolling in on the ESPN Milwaukee Talk and Text line. Will the Packers actually be better this season than last? Mike Tannenbaum thinks they will, Gabe.
You've probably heard about employee stock ownership plans before, but what separates Fifth Third Bank from others when it comes to these plans? Fifth Third offers unmatched expertise and flexibility when creating ESOP solutions, from full and partial sales, second stage transactions, repurchase, obligation financing, and seller note refinancing. ESOPs can offer tax advantages, increased liquidity, employee incentives, and overall diversification of net worth to help your company plan for the future. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got a couple of new accidents. First of all, the earlier one near Gerke's Corners, that one got taken care of. But now we've got another one on westbound 94. This one is just west of Brookfield Road. The left lane is blocked as well. We've also got an accident on northbound 4394 right about at Howard Avenue, off on the left shoulder. We've got delays coming out at the Mitchell interchange up past that point. And then eastbound 94, going to be riding the brakes out of the Zoo interchange all the way through the Stadium interchange. Southbound 43, slow from about Bender Road all the way down into about Locust. That's where it starts to open up just a bit. We do have a disabled vehicle right about at North Avenue off on the right shoulder, also causing a headache. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, patchy fog, which hopefully burns off sooner rather than later. Then it'll be mostly sunny, a high of 63 at the lakefront, 70 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Yeah, they're football guys, but they don't shy away from the big topics of the day.
That's on Matt LaFleur. You signed up for this gig. This is like Ted Thompson used to say, you got to put your big boy pants on.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
And right now, those big boy pants, he ain't cut for big boy pants. He's a Euro cut, tight fit jean guys. That's where he's at.
Do you have a pair of those?
It's not my deal.
Weekdays 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN and available wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And you know, there's more to being a local Wisconsin bank than perfectly pronouncing Oconomowoc or Waukesha. Or is it Waukesha? But rest assured, at Great Midwest Bank, we understand the local community and economy because we're a part of it. At GMB, we provide customized lending products that others just can't offer. Experience a hometown banking difference. Head to greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
RJ Schinner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems. Better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. They'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems. Reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
After a serious crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. Your future, your family's future, your quality of life. That's why knowledge and results matter in big truck cases. And not all law firms have the know-how or the resources to handle these complicated cases. At Gruberg Law Offices, we have the experience it takes to make sure you're protected. And there's never a fee until we win your case. Gruberg Law Offices. One call, that's all.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
363. What's that?
The number of yards they gave up on the ground against the Philadelphia
It's a
Eagles.
Bible verse, John 3:63. Look it up. Tell us what it
I
says.
thought it was Joe 363, and it was "Thou shalt not get past me on the line of scrimmage."
On 94.5 ESPN.
It's a huge day here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, where we celebrate the greatness of Huey Lewis and the news. Chew is working on a list for power rankings. How are we doing over there? You were doing a lot of grunting during the break.
I thought I had. I was going to go most famous people named Love.
Ooh.
Davis Love, the third.
That was one.
That's all I got.
His son, Drew Love.
Come on, you guys should know this one. It's probably one of the most famous. Singer. Hello.
Well, we're thinking.
Singer with the last name of Love. Courtney Love?
That's it. Barely a singer.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put her in singer category.
She's
Warbler.
Is she dead?
I think she's alive. Yes.
Physically, sure.
Alive.
That's about
it, though, huh? We should do.
Love?
You know what we should do is the songs, the love songs, best love songs, greatest love of all. That's got to be up there on top of the list, just because the word "great" is in it. Greatest love of all, and it's Whitney Houston. I'm in on Whitney Houston. I'm all the way in.
What do you? His
he's
brain.
He's looking for another. So we were going to do a power rankings of the top 8 pop culture horses in honor of the Kentucky Derby, which, by the way, I'm sure you guys saw that there were several horses that were euthanized.
7.
Several.
No, there were 7
I
horses.
know, but several doesn't sound as bad as 7, if I'm being honest.
What's going on there?
Yeah, I don't know.
lot.
It's a lot, and it's bad. And I told you guys my story of working at Fox 6 all those years ago where I was covering the Kentucky Derby in studio, and I had to mention that the horse that won the race had to be euthanized, and I had a woman who wrote in telling me that I was smirking and laughing during the segment. And she was like, how dare you disrespect that horse like that? I was like, lady, it is not that serious. But I digress. So we were putting together a list of the most famous horses. What did we come up with? We came up with a pretty good one. Chewy just couldn't find a list that aggregated. So most famous horses in pop culture. And that can be real horses. That can be fictional horses. Gabe threw out...
Well, I threw out the wrong name, but we went Bullseye from Toy Story.
100%.
Seabiscuit?
Yes.
Tobey Maguire?
Secretariat.
Seabiscuit was a real... I mean...
But some of them have movies made after them, too, right?
Sure.
Like Black Beauty, for sure. Did you ever read Black Beauty? Couldn't
No.
tell you a single thing about the book. I don't remember anything
I was
about
about
the
to
book.
say, tell me something cool about
All right,
Black
here
Beauty.
we go.
She's
Mr.
black
Here we
and
go,
she was
here
a
we go.
horse. That's it. That's
Here we
all
go.
I got.
You ready?
Oh, God. No.
Top 5 love songs of all time.
What the hell just happened?
This is your fault.
We were tap dancing over here, and
This
he
is
just
your fault.
Yeah, you guys, yeah.
You,
All right, you
you
ready?
put a thought in his head, and he decided to dive in.
top 5 love songs of all time. Greatest love of all is in the top 5.
Number 5 is very good. Excellent song. You might have just said it.
But you're not listening, so it doesn't matter.
What is it?
Greatest love of all,
By Whitney Houston. It's got to be on the list.
No, it's a Whitney Houston song, though.
and I will always love you.
And
Nailed it.
well, that's a Dolly Parton song that Whitney Houston covered.
When you cover it that well, it becomes yours.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, she stole it.
All right, 4. She's married to someone.
I mean, good for her, I guess. Congratulations.
Wait a minute. Do they have to have the word love in the title, or are they just love?
2011, number 1 in the polls.
Does
for
it
10
have
weeks.
to have the word love in the title?
Oh, my
Yes.
God. Wait, yes or no? Read the title.
Yes, it has to have
Okay,
love
thank you.
in
That's
the title.
different than the greatest love songs of all time.
All right, 2011 song
2011.
that had the word love.
When it says blank featuring blank,
Yeah,
who's the headliner?
The first name.
the first name.
All right, Calvin Harris. Featuring Calvin Harris.
So this song featured Calvin Harris.
This is bad. I don't know. There's too
We
many
Found
songs.
Love by Rihanna.
Oh, my God,
sure.
That's a good song.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's too many songs.
These are good.
I'm sure they are good.
Number 3, you got to go back a little ways. It's more 1977. Great song.
Dolly Parton's and I will always love you.
Number 1 for 3 weeks in 1977.
3 weeks? That's
Yes.
nothing. I don't think that counts as being a great song if you were number 1 for 3 weeks.
Endless love.
Ooh, that's a good song.
Had a bunch of brothers in it.
Just thinking of Happy Gilmore.
It's something by the Jackson 5.
Good. That's a good guess, but that is incorrect. Gabe?
I already made my guess of endless love.
How
That's it,
Deep
you've
Is Your
won.
Love by the Bee Gees.
Oh, yes, the brothers. I should have, yes.
Great song.
But 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
I don't know if I've heard
All right,
that
now
song.
this
Yes, you
is
have.
1994.
How
This is
deep is your love? Okay, that was a terrible rendition of it.
1994, number 2. This,
I really
This
need
is
to
Wheelhouse.
know. Right? Is that what it is?
I have no idea.
Really?
I don't think I've heard that song.
Jen, where were you in 1994?
Starting high school.
Okay, this is Wheelhouse then for you.
Okay.
Great group.
I wasn't even born.
1994, you said, right?
94. Number 1 for 14 weeks.
Well, that's really good.
Yeah.
Who sings it?
Who's the artist?
I can't give you that.
Well, you can.
I was trying to help.
They were great.
They?
Okay.
They.
So it's a group. It's
Ace
not
of
as-
Base.
Yeah. There's more than 2 of them.
ABBA.
I don't know.
Boys to Men.
Oh,
Endless Love?
No,
I'll
no,
make
no, no, no.
I'll
I'll make love to you.
That is
like
a great
you
song.
want me to.
How old
Yeah,
were you?
definitely dance
8?
to that at
That's a
a 8th grade dance for sure. Yes, 100%, $1,000,000%.
Leave some space for the Holy Spirit.
Probably not.
Number 1.
They were letting us dance to "I'll Make Love to You." Like there was a Holy Spirit considered there.
This is hands down the best one. It was at number 1 for 9 weeks in 1981. Boy and a Girl. Great song.
Can you give us a little bit more help?
DR and LR. Not married.
Lionel Richie?
And Diana Ross.
Diana Ross?
Yeah.
So what is that?
I don't know what the song is. I just
Oh.
Come on, Gabe. Come on, Gabe. You got it, buddy. You can do it. Come on, buddy.
Great song.
Gabe. Come on,
I think you've saed it already. I think it's the one
It's
from.
got love in it.
I think it's the
It's two
one
words.
from Happy Gilmore.
Endless
Friends
Love?
listen to Endless Love in the Dark.
Endless Love.
You always carry a hockey puck with you?
Yeah, why?
Isn't that a great song?
It's a great song, yeah.
Yeah.
I think of the Zamboni driver lip syncing.
My love. That's such a great scene. My endless love.
That was pretty good. That wasn't even involved. When does he sing?
Right there.
Yeah.
And the Canadian national anthem.
I sang all day yesterday when we were doing those songs I was singing.
I got a list here, and again, the Endless Love was on the list. Bleeding Love by Leona Lewis. Same Love by Macklemore. Love Shack. How do we not say Love Shack? Baby Love
Who sings
Shack.
that? That's
B-52s.
Yeah.
Crazy in Love by Beyonce. Come on. All You Need Is Love by the Beatles.
I Love Rock and Roll.
Love that song. Is that Joan Jett?
Joan Jett and the
Yes.
Well, I'm going to go see her.
I Want to Know What Love Is by Foreigner. Great old song.
I Can't Stop Loving You, Ray Charles. Don't Journey, they got to have some love in there.
Power of Love by Celine Dion.
Power of Love, Huey Lewis.
Addicted to Love, Robert Palmer.
We should have come up with our own list, probably. It would have been better.
Crazy Little Thing Called Love.
Tainted Love. Oh.
Never understood that.
Tainted Love?
You know, stop it.
What's
Stop it
not
right
there-
now.
what's
You
there
know
not
what?
to understand?
Nope. He's getting,
Taint this and taint that.
I knew he was getting hung up on the first word. Certainly wasn't the love part of it. Drunken Love by Beyonce. This Love by Maroon 5. We got to put together a bracket. We got to put together a bracket of the best love songs in honor of Jordan Love.
Love Yourself, Bieber.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
That's
Yeah.
true. Because he means to say the other word, but
Yeah.
he says love instead. The other four-letter word. Don't guess at you.
Love the Way You Lie.
I know that
Eminem
one.
And Rihanna.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Love Song by Sarah Bareilles, who is awesome. Stupid Love by Lady Gaga. Let Me Love You by Neo. That's got to be on the
I was
bracket.
listening to that song the other day.
It's a
Good
great song. I should have
Neo.
known How Deep Is Your Love. That makes me angry.
Neo's got a lot of good hits.
Roses Are Red,
Violets
Bobby
Are Blue.
Vinton.
There's no love in that.
My Love, it's in parentheses.
Why don't you say that?
I feel like there's enough songs that don't have the word in parentheses for the bracket. We don't need to go to the next level of songs that have it as a secondary title. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
What's love
You're not
got
wrong.
to do with it?
Great song.
Yeah, this would
Love
be a good
Somebody
bracket.
to Love. It's a great Queen song.
Can
Mm-hmm.
anybody? Great song.
Yeah.
Kind of want to sing it now in the break. Consider Professional Construction Inc. and Waukesha for all of your construction needs. Commercial projects like multifamily or an office, or maybe you are looking help on a remodel, a home addition, or building a new home. Mike and Michelle at PCI operate a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships, giving back to the community, and I always add this because I feel like those things are important, but they don't matter if they also don't do exceptional work on your projects. And that's why you guys should contact PCI if you are in the market for a remodeling project, a home addition, or a multifamily or an office. PCI's website is very easy. It's professionalconstructioninc.com. Professionalconstructioninc.com will have pictures so you can see some of the projects that Mike and Michelle and their team have completed recently. And I know you will be as impressed with what they can do as I am. Tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you, and go to that website, professionalconstructioninc.com.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we've got some problems. Westbound 94 at Highway 18, we got an accident there with the two left lanes blocked. Going to be a slow crawl through that area. The eastbound side, everybody's slowing down to take a look at this. So we got backups all the way back to Highway F in Waukesha County. And also an accident, 4394 northbound at Howard Avenue on the left shoulder. That's slowing things down right out of the Mitchell interchange. Other than that, southbound 43, you'll see your usual delays as you're making your way down from about Good Hope Road down to Hampton Avenue, and then a little bit heavy from Keefe down past Locust. Traffic is brought to you by the Club at Lac La Belle, the birthplace of golf in Wisconsin. Schedule your tee time at clubatlaclabelle.com and start your journey. And check in the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, patchy fog should be burning off now. Mostly sunny then after that with a high of 63 at the lakefront, 70 inland. Tonight, mostly clear, a low of 45. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Bogdahl on 94.5.
Let's face it, we put our moms through a lot. I know I did. There's no way you should let Mother's Day slip by this year. Thank your mom or your wife with farm fresh flowers from Books. That's short for bouquets. I got you guys 20% off, so you can thank your moms too. My mom was my best friend. She's not here anymore, but I made sure every single Mother's Day to send her great flowers. You can give your mom regular Mom's Day flowers or make her day spectacular with flowers from Books. Here's what I love about them. Books is different. Their flowers are sourced directly from the best farms and cut fresh, so they last way longer. Mother's Day is May 14th, and don't let it sneak by. Order your Books now, and while you're there, check out their flower subscription so Mom feels your love all year long. Go to Books.com and use promo code KEY for 20% off. That's BOUQS.com, promo code KEY.
There's a race going on inside your body, and sometimes the bad guys, otherwise known as arthritis, get there first. That's when the joint pain kicks in.
Your healing process is just too slow and just can't catch up, and it needs just a little bit of help from QC Kinetics.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a QC Kinetics medical director.
We all know that you can heal yourself. If you get a cut, it heals on its own. Your joints are no different. We can take the healing properties from your blood, concentrate them down, and put them in the spot that you need the help. It's amazing. Your body can heal itself.
At QC Kinetics, that's called regenerative medicine. No surgery or steroids, just lasting relief, the natural way.
The fact that we can treat them without surgery, but using their own body's natural healing process, without medications, without steroids, without surgery, it's just amazing.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Show the world what your business is made of with 3 Tree Marketing.
I know we're different. I know we put a lot of time and effort into being different.
President Kevin Van Rossum knows that's important.
We've seen companies that are already well recognized respond extremely positively to what we're trying to do and what we've done really well. And it just always comes back to partnership. And there's no cost to that. It's just great people meeting each other, talking through some things, and all of a sudden things start developing.
Check out why 3 Tree is the partner you need. 3treemarketing.com. It's officially the love era.
From the day we drafted him to see him now, just to see how he's matured.
Jordan Love has been extended.
The most glowing thing that's been said is he's matured in every facet of life.
Does Love actually always persevere?
It's a lot of money for a guy who hasn't, played.
Find out with us.
At the same time, obviously, we're moving forward with him.
On 94.5 ESPN and streaming live every day on WisconsinOnDemand.com, Twitter, and YouTube. You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I mean, this world is geared towards women. Like, what do we
I am
get?
stepping away from this. Goodbye.
Like, what do we get? They get a comb that dries your hair. We get a stupid razor.
Hey,
I mean, what's the coolest thing we get? They get the hair dryer?
Control.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Brewers get a victory last night over the Dodgers. In case you weren't sure if that would ever happen again, since they seem to be on a skid, although they did win one.
It's 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Win one tonight. That's called a winning streak. It has happened.
What's up with
before.
our guy?
What do you mean?
Out.
Probably for the season.
Is he having surgery?
Yeah.
Already
He
did.
already did. Pay attention, bro.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Best wishes. So for
When did we
those
talk about
playing the
that?
home game,
What do you mean when did we talk about
talking
that?
about Garrett Mitchell,
Yes.
who was
We never
on Jen,
talked
Gabe, and
about it
Chewy
while I
several
was
weeks
here.
ago. What we did, actually, guys, we talked about it, didn't we? He just wasn't listening.
Correct. Like most
No,
things.
he was getting a second opinion. Did you guys
Just because that's the last thing you remember doesn't mean we didn't talk about it after that.
You know how hard it is to set up power rankings?
Yeah, we watched you.
I saw the look in your eye as you were Googling frantically during that last
You
segment.
barely set it up, okay? Like, set up
Set you up.
is very kind. It's very
Should've never
generous.
taught him how to use Google.
So what you're saying is he's out.
Yes, he's
Welcome to the program.
Yes. Brewers got a victory yesterday, so that is a good thing. Joey Weimer had a pretty big game. Good to see the young guys still coming through occasionally. The big news yesterday out of the Brewers, though, was this reverse decision to end the alcohol sales after the 7th inning. So this made news several weeks ago when the Brewers said they were going to extend alcohol sales, in part because the games were going faster, right? And they wanted to make more money selling alcohol a little bit longer because now people weren't at the ballpark collectively as long to buy as much beer. But yesterday they announced they are going back to ending alcohol sales after the 7th inning. There was significant pushback when this was first announced, Chew, when they said they were going to extend alcohol sales, because people were saying, well, wait, I thought that the reason that you were stopping alcohol sales at the 7th inning was to hopefully put people in a better position to get in their cars and drive home more safely. If you extend the alcohol sales, now you are making the time between when they get in their car and when they are allowed to stop drinking shorter, smaller, not good, especially for a state like Wisconsin where we have a terrible reputation for drunk driving. So the Brewers went back and said they did some research, guys, and turns out not making enough. They're not selling enough beer with the additional inning to really make a difference, so they're going back to it. This is a good decision. I don't think there's any other way around it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they would have kept it had they made more money, but by that time, I don't know if fans are just conditioned at that point,
Yeah,
even if they've
like-
heard the story,
Yeah.
that, okay, I stopped drinking at the 7th inning, so they can't go get anything anyway, and they just weren't flocking to the beer stands to get that one final brew before they hit the road, so they weren't really making money, so they just go back to the 7th inning.
What's crazy, Chew, is that it actually ended up only being 15 minutes more of beer. Because, why?
Oh.
The games
So
are moving so
fast, yeah.
freaking fast. And this goes back to the story that Gabe told, which I still think is a fantastic one. Gabe, your story about one of the first weekends you were at the ballpark.
I went to opening day. And granted, it was going to be packed because it's opening day, a lot of fans there. But my wife went with my wife. She wanted a baked potato. So I go to the baked potato stand. They were having a problem with the card reader. I ended up missing and the line wasn't long. Like, I got through very quickly. It was just the card reader, for whatever reason, wasn't working. So you're trying to figure out because it's all cashless, yada, yada, yada. I missed like 5 hours. I almost missed an entire inning just getting a baked potato because everything was just going so fast and they were collecting outs. Like they were going out of style.
So I wonder if that also will have a negative impact on sales. If people are now not wanting to miss the action, so maybe as opposed to getting 3 beers a game, you get 1 beer a game. You go at the beginning, but then you don't want to miss the action, so you don't find yourself up out of your seat. Now, I know they have vendors. I know they've got guys patrolling the seats in the stands, so they could be coming around. But I actually wonder if this faster game, I'll be very curious, Chew, to see what concession sales are like at the end of this season. If, in fact, the faster game makes it so people are staying in their seats more and not getting up and walking around and grabbing a pretzel or grabbing a piece of pizza or whatever it is.
And I think they've already, by the way, I think they've started to do this on Saturdays, but I wouldn't be shocked if for more games they open up the stadium sooner. Because then the sooner people can get in.
Why, do they serve it right away?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
during BP, you can go and buy it?
One of the things the Brewers did, I went to a Friday night game, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago maybe, and they were doing buy one, get one free before 7:30 on a Friday night game. They could open that up. That's one way to get more people if
Why
they want
don't
to
they
get in
just
there.
go to what they do in the club seats in the whole stadium where you just order it and they bring it right to you?
On your app?
Too much.
That's what they have vendors, though. That's
Too
what
much help?
They're viewed as
Well,
like
that's what it
vendors.
would be. You'd have to find the sweet spot of you'd have to hire a lot more people to be able to service all of those sections and also still make money overhead, right?
Yeah.
From all of the sales. So maybe you could start in a couple of sections outside of the club levels and see what the bottom line ends up being. 'Cause
Well-
you don't want to be in the red, right? The whole point
No,
is for the stadium
correct.
to make money. But if you're paying people an hourly wage to be those vendors, those people serving the seats, you have to make sure you're selling more than what you're paying them.
But, I mean, if the sales really do drop, they're going to have to pivot, you know?
Potentially. I mean, also, if the games keep going at a clip like this, ratings go up nationally when TV contracts come up. That's a bargaining chip. So maybe
something.
maybe the stadium experience you don't get as much, but maybe you get more off of a TV contract that kind of makes up the difference.
Well, I know me and Ange, not to be a Richard here, but we just invested in these these robots that flip burgers.
I'm sorry, what?
They flip burgers. Yeah.
No. Why?
Yes.
You know, my biggest fear on this planet is the robot revolution.
Yes.
And here you are. I thought you were my friend. I thought you were my pal. I thought you were my buddy. And you're just taking the money that you have, just lying around, and you are investing in the robot revolution?
I'd like to now.
Don't you want like real world Terminator stuff? Gabe?
No.
The
I do.
guns you get. And
That's
Now, let me ask you a question.
apocalyptic level crap,
Earlier
man.
in the show, Chew, you said you had a great question, right? And you were so
Yeah.
excited about your great question.
That was,
How would you rate the one you just asked? Where you asked Gabe if he was interested
that
in
was good 'cause
Terminator
I got a
type
reaction.
stuff.
Well, hold on, not you. I feel like now there's a business
I don't wanna live in the
opportunity here.
But I mean,
Apocalypse.
Gabe, there's got to be robots that can walk downstairs and like, okay, here you ordered a beer.
Oh,
and a
I
hot
just got the
dog. Here you
I
go.
just got the no.
Some people call those
heebie-jeebies.
kiosks.
No, I don't. Speaking of, that's another thing that you can invest
I don't
in,
like
right?
it.
You're seeing all
I
of
don't
these
like it.
Yes.
Potawatomi Casino, right? And they've got all the kiosks in there. You could invest in the kiosk
So
companies.
this is too much QR code for me, and I've come around on QR codes for the most part now. Now that
This is happening,
Now that you're a
man.
small business owner?
The
Well,
workforce right now,
So
because
when we-
people want to make a certain, and again, I'm not saying people are wrong for this, right? You want to be able to make a living wage, right? To be able to pay your rent, to pay your bills, and all that type of stuff.
crazy concept.
But companies are having a tough time finding
help.
Yes, and so the alternative to actual living, breathing humans is going to be, Gabe,
robots.
Yes.
But they're going to have a harder time finding help because right now you got a spatula in the robot's hand because he's flipping burgers. Already in the kitchen, guess what's right there?
The knives.
Hold on, Chew, these robots, rots, we could invest.
You're going to put your mom out of work, aren't you? This is your grand
She has
plan.
got- she
This
has
is
got to
exactly
work
why.
on
Look,
truck
Ash
this
is
week.
all on
When
board on this.
When we drove down to Florida, we stopped at a McDonald's in, I don't know, Kentucky or something like that. And you just walk into McDonald's and there's a kiosk. You just hit your order. You wait like 3 minutes and someone just brings it right out to you and you're out. There's very little interaction with humans.
You're seeing that at the airports now a little bit. I was telling you guys about when I was at home with the dropper. Rome of the dropper.
Oh.
Sorry, I want to make sure I get it right.
Might as well just say it at this
Gabe's
point. I mean,
upset. I thought you'd be happy.
For robots?
Wait,
I'm happy.
hold on. What part of the story did you think would make Gabe happy? You making more money, robots taking over, or
asking me if I wanted to live in the apocalypse.
You wouldn't want a robot at home.
No.
He won't even buy a Roomba.
I mean,
okay?
if you're
He won't even
iRobot-
buy
If you didn't have to cook or anything, hey, just ribs, little sweet baby Ray's,
freaking
a little
Rosie,
bit of heat.
Rosie from the Jetsons over here rolling around Gabe's house.
I understand that's what you think robots are going to be. I know what the robots are going to be.
Yeah, you're not concerned at all about artificial intelligence?
Have you never seen iRobot?
No.
You
He's
watch
seen
it.
the Terminator and wants to live through it.
Well, I mean, they worked out in the end,
Yeah,
right?
in the end, it'll work out. Gabe.
I've never
People
seen it. I have no
died.
idea.
I would be one of the people who would die.
What's iRobot? A
The movie?
Yeah, it's a movie with Will Smith.
Scary?
No, it's a good suspense.
It's also what they call the stadium that the Las Vegas Raiders play in now. They call it the iRobot.
The iRobot.
The Roomba. I can't believe you're investing in machines that flip burgers.
That's awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Hit me up, on the side. Maybe let's do some business.
And this goes back to the question that I ask
trust you
all the
anymore.
time on this program.
Now.
How rich are you?
I have no idea.
That's how rich he is. So rich doesn't even have to count it.
Say no more, Scrooge McDuck.
Palermo's is Wisconsin's hometown pizza. Palermo's has been making great tasting frozen pizza, including Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian, locally for over 55 years. And that portfolio continues to grow with brands like Surfer Boy Pizza from the hit Netflix series Stranger Things. Look, no matter what you're watching, I understand maybe Milwaukee's out of the basketball playoffs, but you want to kick back. You want to be watching sports, whether it's basketball, whether it's baseball. Heck, maybe you want to be kicking back, listening to our scheduled release show on Thursday. There's a pizza out there for you. There is a pizza for every taste with Palermo's. Because, again, they've been doing this for 55 years. They know what they're doing when it comes to frozen pizza. So find your favorite Palermo's pizza in the freezer section at your local grocery store. Palermo's. It's Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
RJ Schinner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT Manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems, better document imaging technology, better service.
When we got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. they'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems, reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Leaving for the gym so early?
I'm ready to go.
Since you started taking Nugenix Total T, you've been acting like when we met in our 20s.
I feel like myself again. Lower testosterone after turning 40 slowed me down. Nugenix Total T has been a game changer for me.
What is it about Nugenix Total T that's different?
Well, it's a patented key ingredient called testofen. It boosts free and total testosterone to help you get back the drive and energy from your youth. It's backed by 5 clinical studies.
I've seen the huge difference it's made for you in the gym, at work, and in the bedroom.
I'm so glad I sent them a text for my complimentary bottle. Text HUNK to 321321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Nugenix is the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and we'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever. Absolutely free. Text HUNK to 321321. That's HUNK to 321321.
Okay, you've procrastinated long enough. Mother's Day will be here before you know it, and by the way, that means this Sunday. We're ready to help you make sure mom is celebrated the way she deserves this weekend. Head to Welke'sMothersDay.com right now to register for your chance at a Welke's Milwaukee Florist Mother's Day pack. A gift basket from the home market, $100 to Benson's Restaurant Group, featuring spots like Onesto, Blue Bat, and AJ Bombers, and of course, a bouquet of flowers directly from Welke's Milwaukee Florist. That's Welke'sMothersDay.com. Go there now and elevate the day for mom on Sunday. Official contest rules are available at ESPNWisconsinContest.com.
At Lowe's, we're always bringing pros more ways to save on the brands you trust. Right now, buy a DeWalt 9-gallon corded shop vacuum with accessories at a new low price of $99. Plus, as an MVPs member, earn 3 bonus points per dollar when you buy select concrete mix. You can then redeem for rewards. Because Lowe's knows savings, Lowe's knows pros. While supplies last, discount taken at time of purchase. See associate for details. Valid through 5/17. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Valid through 6/2. Subject to change.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202. CordellCordell.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
My father would always say, and there's a rhyme and a reason to it, he said, if you wear your rubbers in the house, you'll go blind. Do the 2 youngsters on the show here even know what rubbers are? I'm talking the ones that go over the shoes.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Who knew Mike Budenholzer had an Instagram account?
Literally no one.
It would appear that, yes, based on how many people were following, based on how often he was posting. But Mike Budenholzer did use his Instagram account, his rarely used Instagram account, to make a thank you to the Milwaukee Bucks organization, to the city of Milwaukee, to all of the fans who supported the Bucks over the last 5 years. And you can read it. It's 3 slides on Instagram. And I thought he nailed it. I thought he hit every single note, perfect tone, handled it so well. Chewy, not an ounce of bitterness or even like a underhanded Rodgers-esque, slide it in there. Maybe no one will notice. There was a part of me, though, that thought maybe people were having second thoughts, just again, because there was a sentiment there that I think tapped into emotions for people. And I couldn't help but wonder if there were Bucks fans out there who look logically know that moving on from Bud was the right thing to do because this team needs a new voice and because they need to handle certain in-game situations differently, but also really, really like this guy, Gabe.
It makes me wonder if they would have moved on from Mike McCarthy sooner than they did up in Green Bay. And I think we're starting to get that point with Mike because he won a championship, obviously, for the Packers, that if it would have been something similar. Where they didn't hold
do
on.
it in the middle of the season, you're saying?
Well, no, even maybe the year before. If they let him go at the end of 17 instead of waiting for 18 and having it all fall apart, if they would have let go of him maybe a year before. Whereas, if the Bucs decided to keep him on and the Bucs had another, season where they didn't win a championship next year and then they moved on, I wonder if the reaction would be the same. It just, everyone kind of knew that this was the time. And it allows the fan base to be more grateful than spiteful because the team held on for too long.
Yeah, no one. He's always been a class act.
Good dude.
It continues. Yeah, I'm just happy that he's going to stay on the lake so I get some more parking.
Chewy,
explain what you saw last summer.
No, for as nice of a guy as he is, you don't ever miss an opportunity to take him out for this.
Yeah, he got a brand new boat, and it was a slow day. It was like, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday, and we were just hanging out. And he was struggling putting the boat onto the lift where he had to keep doing laps. So I think it was an hour that I sat there and watched.
And you would think that
it was wonderful.
You would think you would be kinder because you got a whole hour of entertainment out of that
Well,
thing.
he had the guy who sold him the boat on there going, no, reverse.
Why didn't you just have that guy do it?
Because you got to learn it for yourself.
He's not going to live there. He's eventually got to get it done.
He just calls up his boat dealer.
Yes.
Hey, bud, I'm going to go out. Can you help me again? Got to park this thing.
At least the one time that Chewy was watching, maybe you just call in the closer, right?
Hey, I'd be more than happy to help him out.
At what
if
cost?
He needs help. No, just to hang. He's a good dude.
Okay.
Said he's going to have a beer on the lake.
You Blammer and Bud hanging out?
Oh, boy.
Now that's a show I'd like to have a camera on.
Can we do a remote broadcast?
Take the one out of Mark Murphy's office on this hypothetical Hard Knocks that Gabe and Chewy are already predicting. Throw it up on your dock.
The problem with the Blammer is he doesn't leave.
That's
and
the
he
problem
always
with him?
comes back. He's like a cat.
That's what your wife has been saying also. He doesn't leave.
You know how back in the
and
day...
when he does leave, he takes 6 to-go boxes, right, Ashley?
Yes, he does. I hope he enjoyed it.
We'd always have that cat that my dad would drive around and go like on this nowhere and here drop it off at a farm and he'll have a nice life. And then before we get home, it was on the front stoop.
Before you got home.
That's kind of the Blammer.
You should have kept that cat. It's superhuman.
I know.
You have the thing studied for science.
I'll just get a robot cat.
Study his brain.
Bless America.
He will get a robot cat just to tick you off, just to hack you off. He will.
Bites you.
I had no idea that you were so crazy about technology.
Anti-robot. He's very anti-robot.
Yeah.
I did not know
Not
that.
technology. I enjoy my phone. I enjoy the laptop. I just don't want, the robots to.
All right, your Christmas is done.
You were going to buy him a robot?
Just a little dog.
Just a little guy. He's just a little guy.
Yeah.
Will the Packers have over or under 2.5 primetime games this season when the schedule comes out later this week? 64% of people are saying under. They agree with Gabe. This is not the year to see the Packers on prime time. However, very close poll in the earlier this week. Mike Tannenbaum says he thinks the Packers will be better this season than last, even mentioning playoffs. Gabe and Chewy aren't buying it. 55% of people saying no chance they're better, but 45% of people saying I'm buying it. Thanks for listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Wisconsin. We will see ya.
Couple of accidents still up on the board being worked on.